Financial literacy is simply just a complicated word that means understanding your money and understanding money in general. Today, we're going to focus on goals and what goals mean to you. I know we typically focus on disability advocacy, my life, my general health and things like that on this channel. But as you guys may have noticed, we've been sprinkling some budgeting tips and some just general money topics on the channel over the last little while. And I wanted to really dive deep today about some goal setting and really talk about this little twist to the channel that we'll be bringing every so often and why we're doing it. Financial literacy and money matters greatly to me, and especially in the space of disability and disability advocacy. Disability and money is a very complicated extra stressor, and there are things going on in our current life that I can't talk about very much at this general moment. Unfortunately, I would love to be a great open book for you guys, especially on this money and disability topic, but unfortunately, we're just not quite there yet. We have been in a financial limbo for about 18 months now, and it is creating this crazy amount of stress on us. A stress that I hope you guys never have to go through, but it is the reality of people with disability and people on disability. It's something that we'll do an entire video on once our process is completed, but unfortunately we just can't talk about it at the moment. With that being said, I want to prepare you guys so that you guys never have to go through what we're going through right now. And this is the very first step. If you guys missed the video on going through your expenses, we'll be creating an entire playlist on all these budgeting subjects. It'll be the video at the end of this video if you guys did miss it, but let's get into goal setting. We've talked about goal setting in the disability context in the past. It'll be in the playlist as well, but I really want to dive deep into goal setting with money. It's something that a lot of people get wrong. And not wrong in the sense of you're doing it wrong, but wrong in the sense of they're not listening to their true self, really breaking down what you want to do as a human being and you as a person with disabilities. It's something that you really have to dig really, really deep and trust yourself that you know truly what you want. Not what your parents wanted for you, not what your spouse wants for you, not what your kids want for you, but what you truly want to do over the next periods of time. The very first priority is setting your short-term goals. These short-term goals are not necessarily short-term goals for yourself, but short-term goals that are going to be priorities. I typically want to say that these are not fun goals. I usually prioritize these goals as necessity goals or goals that just, well, can't be ignored. We talk about retirement goals, we talk about saving goals or safety net goals, things like emergency funds, things like that, things like debt repayment goals. These are not necessarily fun goals, but they're the short-term goals. They're really important ones to make sure that if an emergency were to happen, if something catastrophic were to happen to you, to your spouse, to the main income earner, to a family member, that you guys wouldn't have to be in a situation like we are in right now. You know, unfortunately, it's something that you obviously never want to happen, but it's something that happened to us. And we were, you know, double income earners, 2 adults, no kids, owned a home. It's something we never expected to happen. We were in our mid-20s and we were climbing the ladder. And I thought we had more time. I really did. I don't want to cry about this, but I truly did. I thought we had more time to save, to put money towards retirement, to travel. You know, all those things that people said, oh, retirement, guys, we'll talk about it. We'll do it in our retirement. I got sick for the first time at the age of 23. We did our last trip. I was 27. I'm celebrating my birthday tomorrow. I'm gonna be 29. We haven't been on a trip since. Don't let your goals go, and we are not going to let my health stop me, but it has put this massive pause on our life over the last 5 years, and I am dying to let this pause stop. But this financial situation we're in right now is just not going to let that stop yet. And I truly want and hope that this video is more than a goal setting video, but is going to tell and show you guys that money is a tool. Don't let it ruin your life. Don't let debt stop you. Don't let debt consume you. Think before you spend, my goodness. Don't let that FOMO of life of having to own those name brand items, all those things that you say and that you think that you want, think before you buy. You know, that 48-hour rule of thinking about something before you go and buy it. I love, love, love that rule. I think it's an absolutely fabulous one. Take a picture of something, and if 48 hours later you don't even think about it again, that you probably didn't need to buy it. I absolutely love that rule, especially if it's something over $50 or $100. It's absolutely great. Think about those debt repayment plans. Think about those savings, those emergency plans, and about retirement. The faster you can retire, spend more time with family. Talk about travel plans. You know, maybe work a little bit longer, but start traveling earlier. There are so many different ways of going about it. People refuse to travel until they hit this like magical 55. They've never traveled in their lives, and then they decide all of a sudden, that's it, I'm retiring and then I'm traveling. You do you, but just make sure that you understand that life is so short and you never know what it's gonna throw at you. So make sure that you enjoy absolutely every day, because you have no idea what tomorrow will bring. Next up, we've got the 2-year goals. I think these are the most important ones because they're the short-term goals. They're the ones that you have probably the most tangible power on. They're the ones that you have the most power on accomplishing. 5 years is a long time. Those are the ones that are the hardest to accomplish. So much can happen in 5 years. So I put the most power in those 2-year goals, that it be saving up for a down payment on a home, trying to save up for a new vehicle potentially, or just getting yourself into that next vehicle. No matter what that goal looks like, it could be as simple as getting a new couch, if that's the goal. It doesn't matter what the goal look like. It's just making sure that you and your spouse or yourself are on that page, and making sure that you set a very specific amount of money aside every month for that goal. And that is really the important part, is that very specific amount of money, because that's what you're going to take into your new budget, which we'll talk about in our next budget episode that we'll be doing. That is really going to be the big part where all of these things come together, and all the videos I've been doing is really going to come together. I'm really looking forward to that episode. I've used this exact budget sheet for years now. It's one that I've made myself, and I will be making available to you guys free of charge. It's one that I absolutely love. I built myself, and I cannot wait to make available to you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this beautiful episode. If you guys do love the 5-year goals, go for it, but make sure that you have plans in place for your 5-year goals, because things change, and you want to make sure that you are ready for those goals to change with you, so that if money gets put aside and things change, that you work with the flow. I don't recommend 5-year goals because there's, quite frankly, too much happens. I like the emergency goals, those debt-free goals, those types of goals, and the 2-year goals are absolutely great. And then obviously the retirement goals and stuff like that. But after that, quite honestly, live your life, enjoy the day-to-day. Make sure you work with your spouse, not against them. I think working goals with spouses and really working together on financials is such an important thing. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. I cannot wait to record that budget episode for you guys. And I know these videos, quite honestly, have some of the lowest views on our channel, but I really love making them, and I hope this one finds its place on YouTube. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to send me an email or leave a comment down below. If you have any questions at all, I would love to respond to as many as I possibly can. And we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to slow your roll. Here's our lovely playlist on all of the budgeting and financial videos I've done so far. Check them out over here.